What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, and I'm here with
Gershwin.
And welcome back to. I didn't expect that wholesome Gershwin.
Yeah.
Welcome back to another For the Greater.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put a question in front of your question because we get to those questions first. And you might be asking yourself, why should we ask you guys 40K questions? Don't ask that. Just do it. This question comes from Glitch Gamer. He asks, can Spacemarine retire? No, they only know war and death. Or even in death, they still serve.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sarcophagus. Dreadnoughts.
The only time a Space Marine has anything remotely similar to retirement is there are some Ultramarine successor chapters that actually govern their own planets. And what ends up happening is that certain captains or higher than a captain, what's it, a general? No.
No.
Whatever's higher than a captain, yeah.
I think it's just like chapter masters.
Really?
Well, at least in the tabletop.
Yeah. Well, there's a certain person or a certain Space Marine rank that governs their planet. And then they become essentially planetary governors. That's a form of kind of retirement.
Mm-hmm.
But they're still out there fighting every now and then.
Yeah.
Good question, though. Next one.
This one's by the Finner X-Ray. What would happen if the Skaven destroyed everything in the Age of Sigmar universe, and then the Chaos Horned Rats fled using 40k level technology? Then their unholy influence caused them to invade the 40k universe, and it's been proven that these two universes are connected by the Warp Gods, since they have the same Chaos Gods. Plus, the Skaven are already Imperium level weaponry, along with Skaven Astartes, which are rat ogres, and they have a corrupt council ruling over their empire, kind of like a certain Imperium that we know. Okay, so where to start? Okay, so I guess the biggest thing, I don't think the rat ogres are like equivalent to Space Marines, because they're like just bigger, stronger Skaven, which would be more like Ogrins are to like humans.
Yep.
So I don't think that's on that same level. And I don't think it's been confirmed that Age of Sigmar and 40k are in the same universe.
Yeah. I also think that the Skaven kind of play the same role as the Tyranids. So there would be a clash between like the Tyranid lore and the Skaven lore. It's kind of like having two Imperiums. It's kind of redundant.
Yeah.
But I think it would be kind of cool to see space rats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Biker mice on Mars.
Yeah.
Have them take over the Mechanicus.
That'd be dope.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing I really do like about the Skaven is that some of their models are really badass.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the whole like aesthetic to them is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think it's been confirmed that they're in the same universe or anything like that.
Yeah.
Regardless of like the Chaos Gods being the same.
Next question comes from Benjamin P. Solis. Y'all responded to my comment saying that the strongest orc was Thraka. Why was it not one of the beasts? Or why isn't it the beast? The beast technically isn't around yet. That's happening like later on, if I remember how that story goes. And Thraka is just better. He's created more wars than the beast. The beast was just like, rawr, I'm gonna go to Terra. Yeah. I need to finish reading that book, though, to fully understand. Next question.
Oh, this one's by Nat20 Damage. The dogs barking was my favorite part of the show.
Thanks.
They're warhounds?
Yeah.
Hellhounds?
Get it right. Get it right. Get it tight. Next question comes from Mandalore. Why don't Space Marines use artificial wombs to grow perfect candidates for their chapters? Probably because it's just too much work. Might as well just pick the most savage individuals from like the planet. And at the end, like they want the Emperor wanted Space Marines to be more human than the Thunder Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
And the Thunder Warriors were Vat-born Space Marines, basically.
Yeah. Pineapple. Which Primarch pre-heresy would be the best and worst at toughing out physical torture as well as mental torture? Vulcan. Dude's a perpetual. Any type of physical torture you can do to him, he'll revive. And we saw a clear example of that when Conrad Kurz was torturing him. Burning him alive, throwing him out into space, beheading him. And Vulcan regenerated.
Yep.
Which would be the worst? Lorgar? Because he was like seen as like the weakest, maybe?
Yeah, he'll cry. Next question comes from Che Me Gusta. Who's asking these stupid questions? Points at title.
We literally say who asked the questions before every question.
Yeah, can the Necrons join the Tau Empire? Oh, I see why. Are you a big time Necron fanboy who doesn't want the Tau greater good to spoil the Necrons' dynasties?
I am.
Yeah.
As much as I like the Tau, I feel like boundaries need to be made.
Yeah, it's interesting that you're like a Tau player, but you're all about like Farsight. I would really get into like the Empire. Next question.
WAAAGH. This one's by Cole Sims. Question for the two of you. Are you implying there's more?
Oh shit.
If you were conscripted into the Astra Militarum, how long do you think you could last? And which army regiment would you be in? By how long do you think we could last? Is that like a sexual question?
Yeah. How long is like an orc charging at you gonna keep you up and going? I would say like a week.
Yeah, you're gonna be pretty chafed after that.
Yeah. And I would want to be part of the Volstrayan Firstborn, because I am a Firstborn, and because I want a hat, like little like the hat things that go like that.
Oh, speaking of those hat things, spoiler alert if you haven't seen Far From Home, but did you see that one scene where like the kids were running into like that armory, and then you saw the like the Royal Guard firing at the drones? That was pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
You know, it happened for like a split second, but
yeah. I thought that was cool, and I thought it was kind of funny that they were able to go into that vault with no problem.
Yeah, right.
Like, you don't think the guard would have closed that place down when like shit popped off?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
But yeah, I would want to go into the Catachans, just because I'm probably gonna die right away. But just to see that type of like jungle environment, and to see what strange creatures lurk in that type of like jungle, rainforesty environment would be pretty cool.
Check out our 40 facts on the daily life of a Catachan jungle fighter, because it does go through some of the crazy plant life and animal life that exists there. The flora and fauna of our Catachan.
Yeah.
It's scary.
It is, but it's like really cool to see like what type of alien life like lurks in those places.
It's like Jumanji, but on crack.
Mm-hmm. Danny DeVito, inside of the rock.
Gross. Next question comes from TMoney. From a business standpoint and lore perspective, how long do you think it will take us to get another Primarch in 40K, and which one? Gilliman is lonely in the lore right now.
I would say holiday season of this year.
Yeah. It seems like the new stuff that's coming out is kind of like slow and not very like popping. The Chaos Knights are cool, but I don't think they're selling as much as GW expected.
There's also been new Start Collecting box, Primaris Space Wolves, and Aldar, I believe.
But if you notice, like, it is just all reworkings of models, so it must mean that they're not... they're either saving that money to create new sculpts and models for the holiday season, and right now they're just attaching spiky bits and making things look a little slightly better for the Primaris, and then the holiday season's going to get you new models. Hopefully it is like...
Because I feel like holiday season is always the best for GW, because you get sick when it's cold and you want to stay in, and when you're in, you got to build models and paint, And it's the summer right now. You want to go outside, so
Go swimming, even though it's thundering every other day.
yeah.
I wonder if I'm gonna go swimming this year here at home. Probably not. Next question.
Oh, this one's from Luca Lorvik. What is your favorite Warhammer 40K video game?
Dawn of War.
As much as I like playing, like we played with like together and like with a buddy, and that was really fun. I gotta say I enjoyed Spacemarine more, just because it's kind of like that, almost. It shows you like a gritty version of what a Space Marine has to go through in like a third person. It was third. I think was it third person? I think it might have switched between the two, but I think it was third person.
I want a game that combines both the Dawn of War and Space Marine. I want basically a Battlefront in 40K universe.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, because it'd be cool to say like, okay, I'm gonna go into battle with these units while I'm out there fighting. Instead of just seeing the bots kind of kill each other, you actually go in and first person, like you can go, okay, so I want this unit to go here, so I'm gonna become the captain of this unit, and that'd be kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. I think there was another Star Wars game where you were the captain of your own clone trooper squad. You'd be like, heavy gunner, go over there, medic, stay behind me, and then you like make like traps and stuff like that. So that'd be pretty cool.
Yep. Next question comes from nope. Do you have one?
Darth Hunter. How are Chaos Lords and chosen Chaos Space Marines actually chosen? Pretty much it's just like the strongest, no, the most powerful Chaos Space Marine just takes power through might, and that's how they get their own little war band going. Either that, or they do like the bidding of their Chaos God until that Chaos God gives them boons, making them even stronger so they can amass their war band. So might makes right in Chaos.
Last question comes from the CrimsonFire. He asks, can the Necrons be hacked? And or, if the Tyranids consume the Emperor... Well, that's a separate question. Okay, so, can the Necrons be hacked? I think the Tau, or the Skitarii, the Adeptus Mechanicus have attempted to hack the Necrons, and they have had a little bit of success. Nothing to the extent of actually hacking the nanoscarabs and having that type of AI. But they could tap into the power source of a tomb world and use the tomb world, because there have been planets or tomb worlds that were colonized by humanity, and then the power that was dormant in there is being used, and then the Necrons get awakened, and then they're like, yeah, you need to stop using our power. You guys have 2 days to completely get out of the planet, or we'll destroy you. And then your second question is, if the Tyranids consume the Emperor, either now or during the Great Crusade, how powerful would be the new Tyranids?
They'd be more psychically powerful, which would be scary for everyone, because you're eating the body of the strongest psyker that ever lived.
Yep.
Besides that, I feel like the Emperor wouldn't give them much else. Like, maybe the Tyranids would have like a mini Astronomicon power going on, but that's all I can think of.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny because the Astronomicon is supposed to tie everybody to the Emperor, so that you can travel through the warp. But the Tyranids don't need to travel through the warp. They have their whole system, and they don't need a unified mind because they already have the hive mind. So you're right. It would just be like a little bit more warp power or psychic powers. And those were the questions for today. If you guys have more questions for us, comment down below. We enjoy answering these questions from you guys. And yeah.
Don't forget, hit us up on the Facebook page. We've got Twitters.
Twitters are the little speakers inside your car. I have a couple of those. Noise Marines. Yeah.
Sound Alchemist?
Gershwan.
We are out.